Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Natalie and this is my very first video ever. This makeup that I did today was the makeup that I did when I went to Phoenix a couple of days ago, and I wanted to do something that was like sweat proof because Phoenix hot. It wasn't that hot. I think it was like 102 degrees, the hottest that it was when we were there. I did get sweaty and oily, but my makeup looked great by the time I got home. Now, I did not film the video that day. It was 6:30 in the morning when I was getting ready, and trust me, I did not want to turn on the camera. If you guys want to see how I got this look, just keep watching. For my eyebrows today, I'm just gonna use my favorite eyebrow pencil. This is the LA Girl Shady Slim brow pencil. After I do my eyebrows, I like to go in with my primer for my eyelids. The primer that I like to use, it's the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion. And this is the original shade. Mine's all crusty and nasty looking. The eyeshadow palette that I'm going to be using today, it's the Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. In the inside. Alright, so I'm going to start with Vanilla Cream. And with a fluffyish brush. This is by BS Mall. I got this one on Amazon. And I just like to set my lid. I'm gonna start with a fluffy blending brush. This is the Beige Cosmetics BV5 brush. It just looks, oh, wrong side. It just looks like that. It's just a fluffy brush and it is not dirty, it's stained forever. So I'm gonna start with the shade Caramel. Just tap off any excess. And I'm just gonna apply that all over my crease as a transitioning shade ever. So I'm just building up that shade because I'm grabbing just a titty bit at a time. Make sure it's nice and blended. Now to deepen up my crease, I'm gonna use this one. This is by Real Techniques and it's the Beige Shadow Brush. I think I went in with Hazelnut. Just tap off any excess and just start in the outer B, which is this little socket right here. Go in with Macchiato. I'm using a flat shader brush. This is from Ulta. Yeah, and it's just the eyeshadow brush. I'm gonna go with the shade Dry first, just in my brush. And I'm just going to put it all over my lid. Yeah, I'm gonna apply it up to where that deeper brown starts, which is like up to maybe right here. These shadows are so pretty. You don't even need to wet the brush. I'm gonna go back in with my Real Techniques with my Real Techniques brush and back into Hazelnut. Once again, tap off any extras and blend Hazelnut into macchiato. What do I keep trying to say? Like macchiato. This Hazelnut shade does have a little bit of kickback, so make sure to tap off Just make sure to tap off any excess so that way you don't get fallout on your face, just in case you do your base first. Because I'm using the flat shader brush, it's easy for me to create sort of a cut crease without cutting the crease. At this point, you can feel free to add some black winged liner. Why does both of my eyes look different? Oh my gosh, do they really look that different? I don't know if it's the lighting. Okay, it's the lighting. I hope so. Oh my god. For primer, I'm gonna use the NYX Angel Veil Skin Perfecting Primer. So I'm just gonna grab about that much. I like to let my primer sit on my skin for a little bit, so I went and I got my sponge wet. This is a Japanese beauty blender sponge thingy. I like it. Just make sure to really squeeze out all that red dye from the sponge. For foundation, I'm gonna go in with the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. It claims to be water resistant and sweat proof, so that's why I used it. I did get a little bit oily, but I also have oily skin. But I was sweating, and when I came home around 8 p.m., my foundation was still there, intact. It wasn't broken up or anything like that. This is, by the way, like the 5th time that I use this foundation, but I actually really enjoy it. So just using my sponge, just using the booty of my sponge, just like to tap it, and I start by putting it on my cheeks. So I start from the inside of my cheeks and I blend it outwards. Yeah, on camera you can't really tell the difference of like the shade. It's just maybe half a shade darker, but it's really good coverage and it does not feel too heavy on the skin. But it may have broken me out. So I did grab, I think, 2 pumps, so I'm gonna see how much I need for my whole face. For concealer, I'm gonna go with my Liquid Camouflage High Coverage Concealer. This claims to be waterproof. It's not. The foundation was good. Everything on the cheeks was perfect. Underneath my eyes, not so perfect. So I'm just gonna go in. This is one of my favorite concealers, so don't get me wrong. It's not waterproof, and I was sweating, and sweat is technically water, so. And I used the beauty blender to clean that area, so I'll kind of give myself a little lifted look. For setting powder, I'm gonna be using the Peach. Just got all over my shirt. I'm gonna be using the Peach Perfect from Too Faced. This smells so good. And with the same beauty blender or just sponge, makeup sponge, I like to tap off my concealer just so to make sure that there's no creasing. I actually poked mine and I didn't feel it till like 20 minutes later. Alright, and I like to look up and I just set my concealer. I do not bake because I have really dry under eyes. I find that this powder does darken up my concealer a little bit. So with the rest of this, I'm literally gonna put that on my T-zone. This cheek area right here, that always gets oily. So for the rest of my cheek area, because this foundation doesn't really set itself, I like to go in with this Milani Conceal and Perfect Shine Proof powder. It's in 02 Nude. If I can open it. So that looks like that. And I just like to go with a big brush. This is my powder and I'm using the BH Cosmetics number 2 brush. I think this came in a little polka dot set. And I just set my cheeks, my neck area, because I apply foundation there too. Now that I've done that, I'm actually gonna go back to my palette and I'm gonna finish my eyes. I'm gonna go into Cold Brew. This is the blue shade right here. It's so pretty. I'm gonna use a little tiny pencil brush. This is by BH Cosmetics. It's the 105 brush. And I'm just gonna go into that Cold Brew shade. All up and close and personal. And I'm gonna go in with this one. This is just a liner brush and I might go back into that Cold Brew shade, and on this end right here I'm just gonna drag it up a little bit. I'm grabbing the shade Caramel from the palette, and this brush is just a tiny but a fluffier brush than the one we were using before. Now I'm going to go in with my mascara. The one that I used that day is this one. This is the Thrive Cosmetics Liquid Lash Extension. I really enjoy this mascara, actually. So I'm gonna go ahead and curl my lashes. I'm not gonna put on falsies because I didn't that day, but this look would look so pretty with some dramatic lashes. So I'm gonna add around 1 to 2 coats. So you can see it gives my lashes a lot of length. Like literally my lashes don't want mascara today. Is that normal? Is that weird? I think I'm just gonna go with the highlighter that I used that day, which was the Wet n Wild loose highlighter in the shade Written in the Stars. And it's just a pinky highlighter. I have this little brush. I have no idea where it's from. It's a little dirty, but I like it. And I'm just gonna apply that in my inner corner. And I'm gonna highlight my brow bone, but I'm gonna use that vanilla creme or cream. I'll be contouring my face with the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. And this claims to be waterproof as well, and it did last on my skin really good. This is one of my favorite contour powders. I do not contour my skin a lot, if that makes any sense. I just kind of add a little bit just to add some definition to this cheeks. And I like to use this one, sorry. This is the Real Techniques contour brush. I'm a mess. It's okay. You can always go with your powder brush and just blend it out a little bit. Then I also go on my forehead, my chin, and for the nose contour, I like to use a little fluffy brush. Here it is. This one is by BH Cosmetics as well. It's the number 16. And I just grab a little bit of that same shade, tap off all of the excess, and I'm just gonna go down the sides. I just like to add some definition to it so that it doesn't look just flat. My whole face doesn't look flat, if that makes sense. I like to add some definition. I spent 20 minutes on my nose contour. Did it do anything? No. Oh god, makeup, I love you. For bronzer, I like to go in with a stippling brush. This one is Home Darling. This is by Sonia Kashuk. I'm gonna go in with my Neutrogena Healthy Skin blends in the shade Sunkissed. I'm already orange, so make sure not to add too much. I'm gonna go back into that highlighter, and with my Wet n Wild P75 brush, I really like this highlighting brush. I'm just gonna clean it up because I used it yesterday. I just like to add it to the highest points of my cheek. Cupid's bow. I just add it on my mustache. I like to go in with my highlighter first and then my blush because that helps it blend together. Anastasia Blush Trio, and this is in the shade Peachy Love. And this looks like that. And I'm just gonna go in with the first shade actually. Tap off any excess, and I start from the back and bring it forward like that. Oh, that smells so good though. It did go straight up my nose, so my eyes are watering. And I'm gonna go in with the Essence Make Me Brow Gel. It's a little tiny one, I think like $3 or something at Ulta. I'm gonna go in with the LA Girl Glide Gel Liner in the shade Royal Blue. And I'm gonna put that in my waterline. For my lips, I did go in with the lip gloss. With a lip liner, I'm gonna use this one by NYX. This is the Free Spirit Matte Lip Liner. It's just a nude. It's gonna be the Pisces lip gloss. So pretty. And yeah, this is the final look. This is what I wore to go to Phoenix, and it lasted literally all day long on me. I came back home and my makeup was still in place. I was a little bit oily over there, so I did take my Milani powder and some blotting sheets. That I'm currently using are the Palladio rice paper, and I like that. Just dabbed off all of the excess oil and applied the Milani setting powder again. Mattified to look great. My bronzer, blush, highlight, everything was still in place. The only thing that actually did me dirty was the concealer, and this is one of my favorite concealers, but it literally says waterproof on the lid, and I don't think it's waterproof, but yeah, other than that, that's literally it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys want to watch more videos like this, just make sure to hit that subscribe button. If you guys did like the video, make sure to give it a like, leave a comment. See you guys later. Bye.